My name is Dr. Kwame Banu-Akun. I work with the Royal Bank. I'm head of marketing, research, and corporate affairs, and I'm also a consultant and quiz master on the maiden edition of the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge, brought to you by kind courtesy of the Royal Bank, Real Banking, Real Difference, and powered by Edufair Ghana Foundation. Our other sponsors include Ghana Stock Exchange, Social Security and National Insurance Trust, the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, Glyco Life, Data Bank, Everpure Mineral Water, The Finder Newspaper, Multi TV, and TV Africa.
There's a place in my heart that makes me feel that you're the one. It's a place I wanna be, 'cause satisfaction guaranteed. From strength to strength you help me grow, 'cause you're there for me. And teach me how to be independent, 'cause you care for me. It's you.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
Banking with transparency, commitment to integrity.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. Real banking, real difference.
The launch of the maiden edition of the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge was done at the head office of the Royal Bank in Accra and attended by the Minister responsible for Business Development, Honorable Mohammed Ibrahim Awal, and other officials of the bank. It was also attended by officials from Ghana Stock Exchange, Data Bank, and all our other partners who were present. Students and their lecturers or their coaches were also present in their numbers, and it was a very beautiful occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all here gathered this morning for a very important function, and it has to do with the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge. It's a novelty, actually. It's the very first of its kind, conceptualized by Edufair Ghana Foundation in a quest to project Ghana as the educational hub of Africa, and they've done it in a big way. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off the program, and I'm going to be calling on Mr. Ebo Samoni to help us with the opening prayer. Please put your hands together for him. Let's welcome Mr. Ebo Samoni.
Shall we bow down our heads for a word of prayer? Father, we thank and bless you for this time. We thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for this program. You are the Alpha and the Omega. Start with us and end with us. We pray for a successful program. We pray for a buy-in into this program, that at the end of the day, a year from now, we shall recall this incident as part of a successful structure. We thank and bless you in Jesus' name, pray thanksgiving. Amen.
All right, thank you very, very much, Mr. Ebo Samoni, for that opening prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no other person to do a welcome address but the Managing Director of Royal Bank Ghana Limited. Please put your hands together for Mr. Osei Asafwije.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister for Business, Executive Director, Edufair Foundation, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, all protocol observed. On behalf of the board, management and staff of the Royal Bank, I humbly welcome you to the Royal Bank and to the official launch of the Maiden Banking and Finance Challenge Quiz for tertiary institutions in Ghana. Distinguished invited guests, the Royal Bank decided to support this event because we believe that uneducated people make a better nation. Our belief is that a competition of this nature will bring together 16 universities across the country to brainstorm and compete in ideas, and it will bring out the best in our young graduates. In our view, what our tertiary education lack is an opportunity to interface directly with the business world. And by supporting this course, the Royal Bank is contributing its quota to the development of human capital in Ghana. As a bank, we are very interested in supporting capacity development in our tertiary institutions, and more so because we are direct beneficiaries of the products of our universities. As an industry player, we believe that the only way the true potentials of our students can be beneficial to our nation is when we assist bridge what I call textbook fieldwork gap that exists between tertiary institutions and industry. To encourage industry to bridge this gap, government must implement policies that will help reduce the tax burden and decrease considerably the high operational cost which is collapsing most businesses in Ghana. When this is achieved, businesses will be profitable enough to donate generously to social responsibility programs such as this, and also employ graduates from our tertiary institutions. In congratulating the Honorable Minister for Business Development on his appointment, I hope his office will work hard to reduce the high cost of doing business and eliminate the bottlenecks bedeviling the banking and financial sector in Ghana. As we launch the Royal Bank and Finance Challenge quiz today, I know the various universities are studying and preparing feverishly for the quiz. From the Royal Bank, we wish all participating universities the best of luck, and may the best university win. Thank you for coming, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me also welcome the brain behind this new challenge. She's in the person of Miss Eresi Enyimayu. She is the Executive Director and founder of EduFair Ghana Foundation. Please put your hands together for her. She joins us upstage.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, EduFair Ghana Foundation's quest to project Ghana as the educational hub in Africa is the main driving force behind today's event. We are gathered here to witness the launch of the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge. The idea to organize a Banking and Finance Challenge was conceived after EduFair Ghana Foundation introduced the very successful Model Democracy in November 2016. Once the idea for the Banking and Finance Challenge was conceived, we introduced it to some selected universities, including KNUST, University of Cape Coast, Ghana Technology University College, Valley View University, University of Ghana, Central University, Lancaster University Ghana, among others, who gave us positive feedback. We then approached the Royal Bank Limited, who graciously agreed to be our headline sponsor. Thank you to the Royal Bank. You've shown that you are really making a difference in the banking industry. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge is an initiative that seeks to educate the youth and society on the importance of financial literacy and to provide a platform for the educated youth to contribute meaningfully to the growth of the financial services sector in Ghana every year. This challenge is an annual competition for undergraduate students in our universities. Our dream is to make this paramount platform for intellectual discourse on financial sector issues in Ghana, where industry meets academia. This platform should also encourage our universities to modify their curricula in terms of training for banking and finance students to meet the expectations of industry. The maiden edition will take place at the auditorium of our partner, the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, who are making a profound impact on training of professional bankers in Ghana. The competition would be organized over 3 rounds. We'll have the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the finals. Prizes include internship opportunities with our sponsors and partners, laptops, investment packages, some cash, certificates, and a trophy. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, he worked through the mills and rose through the rank to become the managing director of Graphic Communications Group Limited. Briefly, he also became the managing director for Chase Petroleum. He then founded his own company called the Finder Group of Companies. He's into real estate. He's everything but the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, he's now the Minister for Business Development, Dr. Mohammed Awad. Please put your hands together and welcome him.
The Managing Director, Management and Staff of Royal Bank, MDs of supporting institutions, including Ghana Stock Exchange, Data Bank, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and colleagues from the media. It's a great honor to be part of this morning ceremony. For me, the issue at hand is not only of personal interest to me, but it's an integral part of government's policy to develop the youth. Financial literacy, inclusiveness is very important. And government has a policy of making sure that the gap between academia and industry is bridged. And I'm sure this is one positive step towards bridging the gap between academia and industry. What we intend to do as a ministry is to do what we call a talent hunt. We're going to launch it this year to ensure that we identify capable talents in various tertiary institutions. We support them with projects and business plans. And those who do very well, this business plan is supported and to grow into business proposals which government and private sector will support. In this direction, I want to ask all of you, banks, private sector, to support government in developing the talents of the youth. 70,000 young people graduate from all tertiary institutions in this country every year, and more than half of them do not have employment. It's so sad. So as part of our mandate, we want to equip young people with entrepreneurial skills. By the time they come out, they are job owners and not just job seekers. So I want to thank the Royal Bank and all sporting agencies, EduFair, for having this program, and want to lend our support. This very laudable initiative. We'll continue to be there for you, and together we can make the private sector very productive and enhance the lives of Ghanaians.
The Royal Banking and Finance Challenge 2017 kick-started with a field trip by the students and their coaches from the various universities to the partner organizations for the competition that included the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, the Royal Bank, Data Bank. They also visited Ghana Stock Exchange and Glyco Life Insurance to see for themselves at first hand the real workings of these financial organizations. Of course, understand the things that they've learned from school, how it's actually put into practice, and how these organizations are governed. They were welcomed at the various organizations by officials from these institutions, including the Managing Director of the Royal Bank and of course the Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange. It was, according to the students, a very useful trip which set the tone for the 2017 edition of the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge.
This morning, we are here to basically welcome you and to tell you just a bit of what we do here. Well, we are a professional body for the banks and financial institutions, and we train the human resources of these institutions to be upbeat with the markets, the banking sector, okay? You know, just as being in a garage won't make you a car, being at the bank won't make you a banker. You need to be chartered. We have 4 levels of courses we run at the institute. We have the level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. In all, we have 19 courses we run here to enable you to charter. But once you are done with your first degree, it basically gives you an exemption from level 1. So I can see most of you starting from level 2. And then should you come in with your master's degree, we look at what courses you offered at the master's level, and then you can get exemptions from level 2, and in some cases, even level 3. Times are changing, and we have to go with the changing trends. You can't just say you're looking at working at the bank one day and not certifying, because if you don't charter, a time is going to come you can't even rise from the basic level where you've been employed to a certain level. We actually go to the core of the practical aspects of the job. Some of you may want to do CA or ICA and all that, because when you charter, you are on top of issues at the bank. So that's what basically we do here. Aside from that, we also train not only in the professional line, we also run basic training for other skill acquisition in the banks. So this, for instance, is our training manual for 2017, and it comes with a lot of courses. We have a branch in Kumasi. So we have courses we run both in Accra and in Kumasi. So you are talking of cyber crime investigation courses, and those ones are for IT people, you know, and other managers who may handle all these digitization stuff in the banks. You are talking of mobile payment system. These days, you know how this mobile banking has become like. So you just pass on a junction and you can really transact business, you know, forward money and all that. We give training in all of these to make sure that everything that is happening in both the banking system and the financial institutions are being properly done. So we are the only oversight institution in Ghana that has the mandate to do these professional things we do. Okay, somebody may ask, okay, they've heard about the Ghana National Banking College. What do? They don't do the professional courses. They also offer skills training like we do here. Okay, like when it comes to the normal skill acquisition, they offer the training. But we offer the professional courses that would make you a chartered banker. So please, if you really want to go into banking, I think CIB Ghana is where you're looking at. This doesn't limit you to only the banks. We have people working in insurance companies. We have people working in marketing fields that have, it's an added advantage. It makes you versatile. You can go anywhere and you will function. I know a lawyer who is actually pursuing ACIB right now. He's in level 3. People are in all sorts of fields. People are offering sciences and they're offering the ACIB. It makes you very versatile. It makes you pull out strings anywhere. And even in oil and gas, you know, they want somebody with a banking expertise or something, and then you go and you are unleashing small of your terminologies. You kill them, finish, they will employ you. You understand? So basically, that is what we do in Chartered Institute of Bankers.
I'm Benjamin from Central University. My question is that how do you get your students equipped with their technical skills? Because I just want to know whether it's not the kind of trend where you come in, it's about define these advantages of this and that happens in the university. So because sometimes you get to the bank and you're working, you notice that you don't really know anything.
Our resource persons are from industry, and our course structure and content are streamlined along the requirements of the Alliance of Africa Institutes of Bankers, AAIOB, for global recognition. And so the way we even structure our courses and the content isn't the same as the theory you have on campus. Here, everything is done in a practical sense. They go the extra mile to teach you a bit away from theory. And then we offer internship as well for our students, so that whatever you have learned, It's level 3 they go for internship, isn't it? So you would have been grounded firm and deep all the way from level 1. If you had exemptions, at least level 2, a bit of level 3, and then you go into internship and you are supposed to practice what you've learned in the classroom there. So our training is different. Otherwise, we would be offering banking and finance here for degree. We have links with Sheffield University in the UK, but we don't run the theory banking and finance here.
And when they come back, do you grade them on that? Are they graded on what they do and do, or is just...
Well, there's a report on that, but not grading per se. But maybe it's something we could look at. It's something we could look at. We always, like I said, we are versatile. We are not, we don't cast anything in stone. Suggestions from you are why we are here. So a suggestion or two could help us to improve on what we do here. So I could just send it to management. What about grading internship?
From here, I'll see.
No problem.
My name is Samuel and I'm a student of University of Education. The briefing session has offered me the opportunity to get insight about CIB and how to charter at the end of the day.
Welcome to the Royal Bank. The Royal Bank is 100% Ghanaian-owned bank, meaning that all the owner from Ghana, all the shareholders are Ghanaians. It's not a foreign bank. I'm sure you've heard of Royal Bank of Scotland. The Royal Bank of Ghana is not affiliated to the Royal Bank of Scotland. It's 100% Ghanaian-owned. And the word royal is basically we pick the royal because that's how we want to treat our customers. It is not about we who run the bank, who are royals. It's the customers, the way we feel about our customers. When you are treating a royal in our Ghanaian culture, you don't let a royal wait in line in the banking hall, isn't it? So it reflects in the way we do things. Because we want to treat the customer as a royal, that's why we chose the name, the Royal Bank. It's 100% Ghanaian-owned. Our vision is to become the bank of choice, i.e., 10 years from now, when your daughter or your son says, Mommy, I want to open my first bank account, the first name that will come to mind is what? The Royal Bank. That's the object. So we want to be the bank of choice and to provide an excellent, innovative, and world-class banking experience. It's something that we are already doing. For the past 2 editions of the Ghana Banking Awards, we've picked a total of about 8 awards. At one event, we picked 5, which had not happened in about 10 years. That one bank picks 5 awards at the same banking awards. Best Bank Customer Care, Best Bank Business Advisory Services, Best Bank Long-Term Loan Finance. That's what the Royal Bank is doing. That's why we said we want to provide an excellent, innovative, and world-class banking experience. So when you walk into our banking hall, you are being treated as a royal, isn't it? And the experience is such that it will want to make you come back again. It will want to make you come back again, okay? And basically, we were registered in 2011. So the Royal Bank still remains a young bank. We registered July 2011. We started operations in December 2012. So this December will only be 5 years. But we are competing at the highest level with the big banks in the country. Because we understood what the Ghanaian businessman wants, what a Ghanaian student wants in terms of a student account, for instance, and we understand what a Ghanaian, the young man who has just left university wants to start life, who needs some assets that will, when somebody comes to his room, the sound systems are there, isn't it? At least the things that will allow you to play Radebejis, Because at that age, you need direction, isn't it? You need direction. So that's what the Royal Bank is about. It was set up by Ghanaians and run by Ghanaians, and because we believe in the Ghanaian. Currently, the board chairman, I'm sure you understand, corporate governance by Bank of Ghana regulations. Every bank needs a board of directors, and there's a way that the board has to be formed. You have executive board members and non-executive board members. The idea is to ensure that there is no board capture, where the managing director is also the chairman of the board, and he takes this decision here, and defense is there, isn't it? So the Bank of Ghana expects that, and the Royal Bank has one of the most experienced board chairmen in the country. The current acting board chairman, Mr. Lawrence Adumante, was the former managing director of Ghana Commercial Bank. So he has several years of experience, which he's using to assist us now. Mr. Osei Asafo-Adjei, you met some few minutes ago. The managing director was formerly with HFC, and he's come here, and we expect that in the years to come, he will move the Royal Bank to the next level. Other members include Alhaji Abdulaziz Adamu, who is the MD of the Global Haulage Group, the Global Haulage Company, a member of the Global Haulage Group, of which the Royal Bank is also a member. Unfortunately, the man who set all these things up died last year, Alhaji Adamu Idrisu, and Alhaji Abdulaziz Adamu is his son. So we're still benefiting from the experience of the old man. You've already been introduced to the MD and his two deputies, so I will not go in there. Other departments include business development and investor relations. I'm sure you understand what business development is. A person goes around talking to potential business partners, and that department is headed by Hajia Maria Adamu Zipo, is the head of business development and investor relations at the Royal Bank. We also have Mr. Mark Randolph heading the operations and consumer banking. The operations basically deals with all the operational activities at the branches and how we support our customers. And he's also in charge of consumer banking. When we say consumer banking, we're dealing with retail banking for individuals. So when you open your savings account and all those things, the consumer banking department will be looking to provide you with loans and investment opportunities. So as an individual, okay? So if you want a personal loan, those are the guys who will be working on it. So that's Mr. Emmanuel Mark Randolph. We have credit administration, monitoring, and recoveries. When the businesses come here for loans, once the board has approved the loan, somebody needs to make sure that the money is released to the customer. After the customer has met what we call the conditions precedent, that is the conditions you need to meet before we are saying that you satisfy the conditions for the release of the money. And that department is credit administration. And then they also monitor to make sure that you are using the money for the purpose for which you took the loan, isn't it? So that's the monitoring. And then the recoveries, they need to get the money back. The money is not for free, it's other people's money, isn't it? OPM. We take from those who have excess and are saving, who wants returns on their savings, and we give out to those who are deficit units, isn't it? So we take from surplus units and give to deficit units, but we need to make sure that when the surplus unit comes back for his money, the money can be given to him, isn't it? And so we need to recover the monies from the deficit units who came to borrow so that we can repay the loan. So every deposit we take from you is more or less a loan, isn't it? That we have taken from you. So when you deposit your money at the bank, we've actually taken a loan from you. And then we can also give another loan, isn't it? And so that's why deposits appear on which side of the balance sheet? Liabilities, isn't it? A deposit to us, when you bring us your money, is a liability to us because we have a liability to pay back. It appears on the liability side of the balance sheet, isn't it? And what about our loans? The loans are assets, isn't it? Because it's something that we can chase the person for. Okay, so that appears on the asset side. I'm not saying there is a question. So the credit administration, monitoring and recoveries guys are responsible for that. And the head is Mr. E.K. Amina. Then there's a treasury, the people who keep our money. It is not the finance department which keeps the bank's money. It's the treasury, which, also looks for short-term support for if we are short of cash, in case somebody comes for a loan and we don't have money immediately, they will quickly look to speak to their counterparts in other banks and say, look, can you give me 5 million Ghana cedis just for 2 nights? There's interbank, when you hear the interbank borrowings, okay, interbank activity. The banks borrow from their colleagues. When you are short, it doesn't mean that you don't have money, but your money is not liquid. I hope you understand. Your money is not liquid, it's not readily available, so you are asking your colleague from the other bank, can you please support me overnight? And they charge you. Your colleagues will, so that's why we have interbank rates. And then the irony of it is that when you want to send your money to the bank and you want to invest, you ask for the highest rate, isn't it? You are looking, shopping around the banks and asking, who will give me 27? This one says, you give me 26. Can you give me 27? I'll bring my money. So Royal Bank says, okay, I'll give you 27. You bring me the money. Then your father's company wants to borrow. And you say, I should give it to him at what? You gave it, I should give him at what, 25. I borrow from you at 27, and I should give it to him at what, 25. So when you lend to us as 27%, can we give it to you to somebody at 27%? No, we can't. So the next time you start talking about the high interest rate, remember that we are all part of it, because we are all looking for high returns on our investment, isn't it?
The Royal Consumer Asset Finance offers you an opportunity to buy what you need today. We pay and you pay later over a period of time. Now that is flexible. We've also signed up with other vendors covering all your needs: mobile phones, household appliances, laptops, and other gadgets. We also finance the purchase of power supply, building materials, furniture, and general goods. That is why we are different. The Royal Bank. Real banking, real difference.
Today, as part of our program, we came for a tour and we are at the Royal Bank head office. And so far, so good. They've received us well, and we're spoken to by, like, they being the main sponsor. They spoke to us about a lot of stuff concerning how banking is done. They taking from the surplus spending unit to the deficit spending unit, and also a lot of things in the Royal Bank. And also, they showed us the names of their board of directors and a lot. So far, you can see that they've served us well, and we are very happy.
When you marry, will you have the same bank account with your wife? There are many Ghanaians who have separate accounts in their family. The wife has his account, the husband has his account. The husband's account is never known to the wife. I mean, that kind of things. It cuts across, like my colleague is saying. There are many companies we go around talking to, and they tell you that when I was struggling to do the business alone, I was doing it alone. Now it has gone up. Why must I share with somebody? Forgetting that 100% of 10 is not the same as 1% of 1 million.
My question is that the stock markets within the West African region, they generally are low. The total market cap of these stock markets are generally very, very low. Are there any efforts to try and integrate these markets together so that we have a bigger trading platform? Because the biggest market so far is Nigeria, which has about 200 listed entities. In Ghana, we have about 40. And then there are other smaller regions. So is there a way that we can all, integrate these markets so that we have a more efficient trading platform?
The stock market is about trading securities on the market. And once you trade, prices are determined. And prices are determined by what? Supply and demand. So there are certain factors that will affect the supply and demand. There are many categories of them. Let me list the categories that are zeroing in on the economy. One, the company itself, okay, how it is performing in terms of the financial that they come out with. But let me take it from the larger angle. Some will even look at it from the political angle first, come down to the economy, what's happening to the economy, come down to the company itself, then also come down to what's happening to the market itself.
We have the Almighty Companies Act of 1963, Act 179. It covers all companies operating in this country. And for the purpose of our dealing, we also are regulated under that. The only exception is these two that I've indicated, the sections 318 dealing with unit trust, 319 dealing with mutual funds, and approval of prospectuses, which used to be in the company's code, have been lifted out and given those powers to the SEC.
I want to thank you for coming, and we wish that individually you made the decision to invest in the stock market and come and visit at some time. Thank you so much.
For coming. I know you guys are going around, I believe, from company to company to hear everything everybody has to say and throw at you. So we won't keep you too long, but again, we do want to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to come to DataBank.
For those of you who are in school and are not investing, please, you better start now. When we were in school, we never had the opportunity to come to such places and talk to CEOs and get the opportunity to listen to this kind of thing. You are in a very lucky place. And if I knew what I know now, when I was your age, I'll already be a millionaire. Hakim no be so.
If you're looking at 20 years from now, 20 good years from now, you need to be able to put down 2,423 Ghana cedis every month to be able to raise 1 million Ghana cedis in 20 years. That is if you are saving that. Ideally, that means that some people will have to go hungry for 20 years because it means that your whole salary is what you have to put down for the next 20 years. But for that same period of time, that same 20 years, if you should invest with an investment that gives you an average of just 20%, you're looking at a value of 316 Ghana cedis. That means that you get to save a whopping 2,100 Ghana cedis plus if you should invest your money. Does that create any difference in your mindset? Do you understand it? You understand, or you get the difference between saving your money and investing your money? I hope you all get me. Okay. So next is you knowing your investment mix. Now, per whatever objectives you have, both in the short term, the long term, you should know the kind of investment mix that you should go for. Ideally, from 15 years or more, if you are investing and your objective has before you is 15 years or more, we are saying that you should look at more of a growth portfolio. Here, you are looking at being able to grow your funds significantly over that period of time. Why? Because you have a long term to achieve whatever objective you have. So here we are saying that we recommend that you look at investing 80% of your investments into equity-based funds. So with growth portfolio, we are saying that at least we recommend that 80% of whatever you want to invest should go into equity-based investments. Then 20% of that should look at fixed income securities. So ideally, you are looking at the treasury bills, fixed deposits, and bonds for 5 years or more. Now, understanding how DataBank can help you as an individual or an institution, once you walk to DataBank, like my boss said, we are the Wall Street. We strive to be like the Wall Street. But at DataBank here, it's a one-stop shop. We are like the Walmart of investments. So when you walk into DataBank, whatever you need to do, you can do everything here and walk out. You don't need to go to any other investment shop or any other investment bank to do anything else. So right from having mutual funds, you can open any mutual fund investment at DataBank. You can open a treasury bill investment at Data Bank. You can have shares or buy shares of listed companies on the Ghana Stock Exchange at Data Bank. You can have a customized portfolio if you are someone who wants something like that. That's where we term as wealth management. You have something that you want to customize for yourself, you can talk to our wealth management for that also. We have a pension fund management that is being run in Data Bank here also. Then we have the institutional funds that are targeted towards institutions who want to have their funds invested on their behalf. That is also done here. Then we have the private equity also run at Data Bank. Then we have a research house here. That is where you don't have in most companies. So we have a research house that is situated in here that helps our fund managers with our investment decisions that they do. EdiFund, also another favorite of mine. Because, trust me, my child needs to go to one of the top schools in Ghana. And I would like that to happen at any point in time that my child comes in. But if I don't plan adequately for that, trust me, I will not have that. The kind of fees that are coming up of late, especially if you want very quality education for your child and exposure for your child, you need to pay a lot for that. So EdiFund here comes in two forms, and this is how it wants to help. So EdiFund invests into both equity and fixed income also. There's the EdiFund Tier 1 and EdiFund Tier 2. Now, EdiFund Tier 1 is supposed to help you to plan for the short-term recurring educational cycle. For example, the primary, the GSS, the SS, whereby every 3 months you might be paying fees. So like I said, if I've just given birth and in the next 12 years my son is going to GSS and I plan adequately, every 3 months I can be visiting EdiFund in the 12th year and be picking interest just to pay fees. So EdiFund Tier 1 gives you that flexibility of being able to access funds in the short term. I hope you understand me. Very good. Now, the Tier 2, on the other hand, is looking at a longer term period for the tertiary education, whereby you want to invest money towards your child's education in the university. So that one also comes with that equity investment and fixed income investments, whereby 60% is being invested into the fixed income, then a maximum of 40% is being invested into the equity market, because it's also supposed to go for the long term. The icing on the cake for EdiFund Tier 2, however, is that it comes with an insurance package embedded in it.
Glyco Life started off operations in 1987 as Gemini Life Insurance Company. And it is now Glyco Life, specializing in life insurance products. So that company, Gemini Life Insurance Company, we started operations in 1987, had the short name Glyco, Gemini Life Insurance Company Limited. So the single business set up in 1987 has now expanded and diversified into 6 other businesses. So Glyco Life, Gemini Life Insurance Company, as was meant as Glyco, it's not Gemini Life Insurance. So anywhere you see Glyco, it doesn't mean Gemini Life Insurance Company. The name is used to represent Glyco Group, but not Gemini Life Insurance Company. So Gemini Life Insurance Company then, it's now Glyco Life. Some people get it confused. So Glyco in itself doesn't mean anything. And you realize that there are a few companies in Ghana that started off operations with a unique name, but along the line, through this diversification, had to change their name. You have Unique Trust, which is now UT. You have State Insurance Company, which is now SIC, and a few others. Yeah. If you want more information about the Glyco Group, you can visit our website, www.glycogroup.com, where you have every information about the group and our operations. Our vision is to be a leading world-class organization and the brand of choice. So this is what drives us as a group. Now, because we are a group of companies, each of the 6 companies feed into this vision. So the group vision is to be a leading world-class organization and a brand of choice. So everywhere our operations, we want to be the recognizable brand of choice. And I'm sure you all agree with me that when it comes to insurance in Ghana, Glyco is one of the names that it's well known. This company was set up by a very industrious man in Ghana. It's a wholly owned Ghanaian company.
100%, formed by a typical Ashanti man, and we all know the industrious nature of an Ashanti, and his name is Dr. Kwame Echamponche, and he's currently our executive chairman of the group. So this company, as you see, a lot of people think it's a foreign company or it's a wholly owned Ghanaian company employing Ghanaians in the service of Ghana. So bear that in mind. And we are very passionate about what we do, because at the end of the day, once we support Ghana, everything stays in Ghana. So thank you. I hand over to my colleague Stella.
One of the key statements that every business today makes is the fact that customers are kings, right? And kings need to be served by people who are excited in doing what they do to make the kings happy. So no company can survive without happy customers. And if you want happy customers, then you need happy people, happy employees. And that is why in Glyco, our employees are our #1 priority. And we make sure that the employees are happy so they can serve our customers to be happy, shareholders will be happy, and then we have a happy workforce, a happy, population that we deal with. And that is why these few slides are just going to tell you basic things about working here. So that is working in Glyco. Nana talked about the fact that we are 6 companies. So these 6 companies have one HR team that is actually overseeing the activities of all these 6 companies. We have our values, just like any other business. And one of our key values that we seriously believe in is the fact that we have high ethical standards. We don't compromise on our standards. It's not because we want to gain business, we will cut corners to do what is not right or what is unethical. And so for us, we abide by rules and principles set by our regulators and the industry. People or other businesses within the industry could be doing anything, but Glyco will be found to be doing things that have high standards, because that is what we believe in. That is our value. We give opportunity for our students to come and do internships with us. We give opportunity for national service. And sometimes we take you on depending on your performance and conduct during your internship or national service period. And so we think that if there is any reason for you to want to work for any industry, insurance industry for that matter, Glyco is the employer of choice. And if you go beyond Glyco, I'm sorry, you can't find any better. So thank you very much. And that is what the HR has for you in terms of our people and the way we work. Thank you.
We have the Glyco Life Savings Policy. This policy is for 10 years. It runs from year 1, when you start, to 10 years it matures. From day 1 of taking this policy, you know how much money you get at the end of the 10th year. During the course of these 10 years, if anything should happen to you, if you should die, that promised amount is what we pay to your beneficiaries. But when you leave, then that amount plus the annual bonuses that we add to it is paid to you. The next one is the Glyco Life Guaranteed Policy. It's a 15-year policy, and somebody will say, what is the difference between a 10 and a 15? With the 15-year policy, it is designed because customers have told us that they need part of this money before if they will die, they will die. So we accepted that and designed a policy for that, and allows the customer that every 5 years, come and take 30% of the amount that we promise you. So if we promise you, by your policy, we say it's 10,000, 30% of that, first 5 years, second 5 years, 30%, the last 5 years, 40%, plus the bonus. However, if you take the first 30, the second 30, and thereafter you passed on, then Glyco will forget about all the money we paid to you and pay the full amount to your beneficiaries. That's the difference. Glyco Education Endowment Policy is policies that you and I can take. I'm sure when you guys graduate, you go in for your master's. Being that the policy is named Glyco Education policy doesn't mean it's only for children. It's a way of saving and making higher returns on that product, so that when you need to further your education, you sign a check and then you pay your own fees. You are now in school, your parents might be paying. From that point, it becomes your responsibility to further your education. So this is the time for you to start putting some of the chop money aside in that kind of policy.
My name is Helena Ando from UPSC. My question is to the Glyco Group. When they were presenting their benefits, I saw 24 hours added to the benefits. I would like to know if something happens to the clients within the 24 hours, if the client decides not to die within the 24 hours, does the benefits cover the person or not?
If you are even lying on your bed and you fall down, you are covered.
Yeah, Nana has said it. It means 24 hours, 365 days in the week. That's what it means. So 24 hours, morning to evening. If you go to visit your uncle in the village somewhere and you die, you are covered. Whenever you get your policy document, don't just take it and put it under the table. Read it. If you are not okay with any wording in it, you have 14 days. Within which you can come back to us and say that, no, this policy, this is not exactly what I want, and then I'm returning it, and we can cancel the policy for you. But if you don't read it for us to give you the explanation, for you to put in the necessary measures that will prevent the loss from happening, then when it occurs, we are going to now also read out what the policy actually states. And then people normally say that insurance for, when it comes to claims, then long grammar. It's not as a result of that. So know what it covers.
The future of the Ghana insurance business is microinsurance. And because Glyco has a vision of bringing insurance to the doorstep of every Ghanaian household, microinsurance is not left out. And so all that microinsurance department or business does is that we do everything Mr. Smart said, that is the individual life, except that this one is targeting the informal sector. And so the informal sector, you agree with me that there's no way a trader or an informal person, a self-employed, will walk into any insurance company and then say, I want to buy insurance, or I want to do insurance with you. And so what we do is that we rather go to them. And like the saying goes, insurance is sold, life insurance is sold and not bought. And so in microinsurance, at microinsurance, we have a dedicated team. And then we always go to the markets, Monday to Friday with the markets women. And then we sell the insurance policies to them.
Contact Center, which is part of the Operational Business Suite project embarked upon by the company, has become the interface between SSNIT and its cherished customers. The Contact Center provides alternate channel for scheme members, including employers and the public, to make enquiries, lodge complaints, compliment and provide feedbacks. At the Contact Center, it's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better.
We deliver on our promise. SSNIT.
SSNIT, we deliver on our promise.
There's a place in my heart that makes me feel that you're the one. It's a place I wanna be, 'cause satisfaction guaranteed. From strength to strength you help me grow, 'cause you're there for me. And teach me how to be independent, 'cause you care for me. It's you.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
Banking with transparency, commitment to integrity.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. Real banking, real difference.
They visited the partner organizations of the competition to acquaint themselves with the workings of these financial institutions and learn for themselves firsthand how these organizations are run and governed. Join us next week for quarterfinal 1 of the maiden edition of the Royal Banking and Finance Challenge 2017, which is brought to us by the kind courtesy of the Royal Bank, Real Banking, Real Difference, and powered by EduFair Ghana Foundation and supported by the Ghana Stock Exchange, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, Glyco Life, Data Bank, Everpure, The Finder newspaper, Multi TV, and TV Africa. Make a date with us next week.